Shabbat Shalom, Ambazonia. Good morning. Today, na Saturday, number 5 day for this number 11 month for the year 2022. My name na Capo Daniel, the Deputy Defense Chief of the Ambazonian Defense Forces and the spokesman of the Ambazonian Governing Council, aka Sense Past King, una own countryman. Una welcome to our daily podcast, a program where we speak the truth, where they bring una meaningful information, facts-based analysis for help we as we work for this journey to our freedom, the independence of Ambazonia. Fellow citizens of Ambazonia, we come today with good news. Say the medical worker them where they be adopted for Insabatible by Commander Blink, the former second in command of late King Commando, will be handled by Scott Johnson, and a member of the Sarko's group. The dam alas release those medical workers them after we done put pressure for them by calling on the release of those individuals and getting local traditional authorities involved in the calling of their immediate release. Why, for instance, still the Savannah State for Oku, La République du Cameroon, their terrorist forces that are begin the attack villages now, also using civilian clothing. This one will be a strategy way that I use them for urban area. Increasingly, we run the same now where they use them for rural areas them for inside liberated zone. The incident it take place yesterday for Friday for a village where they call us King for inside Oku. La République du Cameroon, they approach a die place. They attack, killing one civilian, and one Ambazonian Defense Forces also it will be attacked during the die place where they try to intervene. The soldier in name na Elvis, he come name na bear the risk. He don't fall. We want to pay tribute for ye. The Elvis bear the risk na soldier way he work under the unit of General Bush Rambo, the Black Shoes of Oko. He don't live his family for 2 years, abandon a woman. He be visit a woman one last year, and the woman he be take belly, the woman he bikini he almost come born. He done pay the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. We want for pay tribute for ye and for thank ye and for tell ye say Ambazonian go remain indebted for ye. The other civilian will La République du Cameroon then kill ye. He named to na Cynthia. He done die, leave behind a wife and 2 children. He done join part of over 30,000 civilian, them innocent civilian, the way La République du Cameroon, they done murder them in this their subjugation war against Ambazonia.
The civilian, the La République shooter, get off today. But the place for corner of a has a go for luck. Civilian, open up my face, a bed is not soldier. Risky. I'm killing you for no ground, man. Civilian. That is a place day. I will be soldier them Roku. Ambazonian intelligence force Black Shoe. Hey, bear the risk. Under the little shoe of General Bush Rambo. Open up on the item, right? I see you on the other side. Fear. We must reach Boya.
The Ambazonian Defense Forces then deploy their forces for the scene. Before then come the Cameroon terrorist occupation forces, they be abandon the scene. As you can hear clearly as they narrate through the video, then talk say we shall reach Boya. We are undeterred. We are dedicated to reach the destination and we will complete the journey that bear the risk Elvis has sacrificed his life for all these years to fight for. We shall continue the journey and make sure that our soldiers who have died and fallen in battle shall not die in vain, and we will make sure that our civilians that have been slaughtered will not be killed with impunity. While in La République du Cameroon, there is darkness in Bonamosadi. Few days after the electrical grid where it be supply Bonamosadi for Bonasama, it then be put out of commission by the Department of Fire. La République du Cameroon, they never still be able to solve the problem. Up till now, then be perplexed. The whole of Bonamosadi either remain in darkness. The pressure is on in Douala as most power shortages that already exist for the even for like Ambazonia, for our capital, for Boya. Light, it then be cut out. The issue for light, it then become a big issue for inside La Republic to come around their economic capital. We go return back for the Savannah State with the news about the adoption of hospital staff from the Wombo District Hospital, where they for inside Batibo. This hospital, now one of the only hospital them where they for this particular area for Batibo, where they serve our public. This particular site for the hospital, it be served as part of the Medicine Without Border, Doctors Without Border, Médecins Sans Frontières, their outposts where they be used them for supply medicine and essential treatment for our population. The few doctors and nurses the way they be there for day, now they be provide essential service for our people them. Out of a sudden, Blinky, where he be the former commander for King Commando, he come for the area with the one lone soldier where he get them, where they require the mighty, then come for day at gunpoint, carry all hospital staffs, take them, go them for inside Numbeng, hold them hostages. They demand 500,000 for each of them for be released. Blinky, it always be handled by Johnson Sikot, where he be based in Finland. The activists, where he never make long, he can make sure they condemn the Ambazonian Defense Forces regarding kidnapping and a part of Mark Barata, a group of their friends, where they call that group says CAF. This group, it done spend time for attack the Ambazonian Defense Forces, but they didn't come out to call for the release, but instead, they make a focus for creating fake news, saying that ADF and General Efang, it done come for kidnap hospital staff. As a matter of fact, the big general, the Supreme Commander of the Ambazonian Defense Forces, moved into Gozang to try to help the release, to secure the release of this hospital staff, because General Efang understands that the kidnapping or adoption of hospital staffs violates cardinal rule of international law and will be counterproductive to our liberation war. That is why he come all the way to Gozang to make sure he intervene and apply pressure for those hospital staff members to be released. This incident have been a win that have exposed the annals of the chicken. The Kemi Ashus contacted people on the ground to verify the story. Once it was obvious that it was not done by the ADF and the Supreme Commander of the ADF, General Efang, she has not yet made any publication about this news. Neither did SCAF, the organization of Mark Barata, called for the release of those individuals, or neither all those who say they are fighting against kidnapping for ransom. They all went mute. It was the General Efang who went there with forces to prepare to apply pressure for those people to be released that was tagged the perpetrator of this crime. On social media, network, and on platforms such as the Kimi Ashus, the anonymous lady, your humble servant, Capo Daniel, was tagged as the person who was behind the kidnapping or adoption of these hospital staffs. We stayed focused. We applied pressure using media outlets to apply pressure on Blink for the release of these hospital staff members. We want to remind Ambazonians that all Ambazonian, if not all, had gathered in Toronto and committed to the principles of humanitarian international law that hospital staff members should not be arbitrarily arrested or harassed by any force in Ambazonia. This was a commitment to show good faith that every force is fighting indeed for what our people are fighting for their interests and their aspiration. This arrest or adoption by Blink goes against the spirit of our liberation, and we condemn it. Blinky, who is associated directly to Iringwa and Sako Ikome, have failed to live up to the spirit of our liberation struggle and have engaged in lies telling. For whatever reason will the so-called Kemi Ashu and the rest activists of Sako Ikome tag the ADF and Capo Daniel for the adoption of these hospital staff? They, of course, would know that it was done by their own force or their own cartel in Batibo. As a matter of fact, I am going to release an audio evidence so that our people would know for sure that it was indeed Commander Blinky who was behind the kidnapping. In this audio, Blinky justified the kidnapping or adoption of these hospital staffs, and I'll play it. It goes as follows.
Was always more joke and first audio. At the Botanigam, yes, Kaiko, Botanigam. Tu mate on pa, go mate krembe kanubiri. Ubiri ka ga ni bon. Bira ga bubu. To biri for ye, ene wona nyimu da wor bon.
So, this is the voice of Blinky explaining why he adopted the hospital staffs.
Politics. Ubiri afa ga ni awo jon biri ni fa. Yes. Some of you are young government, then government will not phone. I thought you to Bubara, that government with you. Crewe pharmacy, Jote for Nigeria is Jinga Fiwe. You want to be Tawe pharmacy. Can you have government was on government was Jifu, then Crewa?
So, in this audio, in case you don't understand our beautiful Mogamo language, Blinky is explaining that that hospital is useless and people should better open pharmacy and buy medicine from Nigeria. Blink explained further that that hospital, which was once the host of Médecins Sans Frontières, had treated La République du Cameroun terrorist forces under gunpoint. According to his story, La République du Cameroun, they came there with their wounded soldiers and arrested everybody and kept them in that hospital for over 1 week and forced them to treat their wounded personnel. Because of that reason, he has come to arrest all of the hospital staff. Of course, we know that is a lie because nothing like that ever happened. It even goes against the modus operandis of La République du Cameroun, their forces. They avoid taking their patients to hospitals. They usually will carry emergency case through helicopter, as we have seen, directly to Upstation, Bafut Airport, or to Bafoussam or Douala. They do everything to avoid hospitals. If it's a case that they will have to stay there for 1 week, according to Bling, in the 1 week that they rape hospital staff, why will he victimize the victim that he explains that La République stayed there for 1 week raping hospital staff members and treating their wounded?
That border is now woman and before doctor that border have coming here wumbo. Big Ramogam to work bagging. Well, to work back to take Yemit to work bagging in Minacum near Wumbo. Our government come doctor that borders near Wongo. It could always come on in change to your young be amen to your thing fine. Beam on the wound be in our hospital Wumbo. Yes, Jinga, they got our hospital for 1 week.
So, fellow Ambazonians, you have heard the truth. That is what happened. Kemi Ashu, Sako Ikome, Sikot Johnson, the Scarf and all their Kaba have no credibility at all. They are not working in good faith. They are not honest, but will constantly undermine the effort of effective leadership to liberate our homeland by creating stories about the AGOFC, the ADF, our Supreme Commander, and our people and our officials. The truth is known by our people on the ground. That is why the vast majority of our people are under Ambazonian Governing Council controlled area. We have seen them working side by side with our soldiers in all the areas where we have staged our Independence Day celebration. The people stands with us, and we will stand with our people, as well as all the Ambazonian all the various factions within our struggle that are authentic and that works in good faith to advance the liberation of our homeland. We will go back for the Atlantic State. The video will then be released today by the group for Ground Zero, where they don't form the group for Ground Zero. They don't release a video, so they don't do work for go arrest worker them for CDC. When I think that way all we want them. We don't talk to me soldier, then prioritize the crippling of the CDC. And we don't prescribe, say make all Ambazonian soldiers them target the critical infrastructure. And CDC worker them where they go for go work, me them fi give them corporal punishment or give them penalty, but make no man in no do dismemberment of body part, make no kill some person for day because he go work for CDC, but sanction he accordingly. So for sure say they do good work, the group way now they don't make that Ground Zero group, they don't release a video, say they don't arrest worker the way they do work for CDC. Make una listen the video.
Yeah, I'm a fellow Ambazonians today on the 25th of October 2022. Now the CDC workers and this from Mianja Roba Estate, where they will be arrested by the APLC forces on the ground. So they don't be here 2 days, they get for being released today. So with the advice una, we'll not go keep una because this war not be individual war, now war for free country. So we will not the cash now because we like for cash now because the government will use now more kill una. But we Ambazonian fighters them will not kill our own. We will do arrest, we put on for investigation, we keep una or we release una. So we don't investigate, we see say we not get any problem. Yes, so the government become for use now for clear field and for make us say make una can't work. Like as we talk, we fighters them will not get anything for do with nurses. Like this woman will investigate. She's a nurse working with the CDC.
So it goes without saying that was supposed to be a good action, but eventually, like them talk for that video, say La Republic one will kill people them unjustly and would then condemn the use of inappropriate or unjustifiable inappropriate use of force or the deadly use of force live bullet against civilians. This particular agenda it then be pushed by those who did want to try to undermine the governing council, not because they want to fight La Republic, but because they want to undermine our effort to liberate our homeland. It has turned out that they executed one of the boy in red in that video, red and white. The family have spoken out. The spokesman for the governing council, okay. You recognize any of those CDC workers then for that video?
I know two of them. I know the other guy with in black. My elder brother is friend that. Okay. Where is Capo Daniel? My elder brother with in
okay, so the person with red and white, that red and white t-shirt, near brother.
My direct elder brother, yes.
Okay. Wait to be status. You don't hear what to happen for you.
The killing is really night.
When I wouldn't kill, I see that same soldier they didn't hold them.
Yes, and the shoot is from the junction.
So that was a testimony from his brother. He was killed in Menji Junction and the body was dumped there. And those are the type of things that we always warn against, that groups that comes up shy of political leadership end up becoming a thorn in the flesh of our people. And if you are also in Bamenda, you will notice that there have been increase in kidnapping for ransom around Mulang. We are trying to handle the issue. Our soldiers are going through a tough time in that particular area. There is a unit that have gone rogue as a result of issues of intoxication, and we are asking on our population to be very mindful of the manipulation that are going on around town in Bamenda. Bamenda is a town in full control of the Ambazonian Defense Forces, and our sister forces that are around town, they also assist sometimes, and sometimes they carry out their own operation in within the town. The city of Bamenda is the most populated town, and when there are issues, we have to bring it to the attention of our people. So people should take note of that, and they should know that anybody who do things there in the name of ADF is not necessarily working under our instruction. They should reach out and we will try to follow up to help. We'll get that sorted out as soon as possible. Fellow Ambazonians, we recall on all Ambazonian forces for rededicate themselves and for commit, for fight, for liberate our people as the burden of a whole nation and the hope of a whole nation they on their shoulder. We then also realize and would still sensitize them for no say the people the way they inject politics within the self-defense, they do them for dampen the spirit of soldiers, and we would see the result on the ground. And we call on soldiers for realize these tricks and for realize the unintended or intended consequences for this politicization of self-defense and liberation on the ground for political purposes, and to dampen the spirit and to dampen our resistance effort. May we continue with focus for fight one enemy, the Cameroon terrorist occupation regime, with their knee on top the neck of our people them, until we free our country. Capo Daniel, signing off.